Hey, it's Andrea. So today we're going to dive deeper into the breath and why it's so important to do the breath and to have a strong intention behind the breath and doing it in a way to where you're pulling the mind out of the body and you're creating this magnetic field around your body through the positive charge and the negative charge that's at the top of the head and the base of the spine through doing this breath. Okay. So before we dive into it, this is the beach that I go to quite frequently. That's the boardwalk that I go down. Same beach that I went to when I was a teenager. So back at the same beach, this time totally different person, doing my meditations on this beach, sun gazing, grounding, doing all kinds of healing and energy work on this beach. So we'll get more into that later. But today we're going to talk about the breath and why it's so important to do the breath. I'm going to show you guys some slides. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. So when you're doing this breath, you're starting from the base of your spine and you're pulling your breath up through all your chakras and you're moving it up and through your head to be transcended. And it's going to create this toroidal field that we've been talking about, this magnetic field around the body. What happens is when we go through life, we get stuck emotions in the body. We live in lower emotions, lower vibrational state. We start to become more matter. And when we become more matter, the body loses its magnetic field and it becomes very dense and everything becomes very slow and things might seem hard and there might be all these challenges that are showing up in your reality because everything is now matter to matter. So through doing this breath, we're transcending and we're turning you back. We're making you more energy and less matter through doing this breath because we're reconnecting you back to your true authentic self, which is oneness, wholeness, the universe, where you came from, divine spirit. People call it all different names, but we're pulling these stuck emotions from the base of the spine and we're drawing it all the way up, transcending these emotions and reconnecting you back to where you came from. So the yogis call this the Kundalini awakening. In Hinduism, they call it Shiva Shakti meeting. In Christianity, they call it the holy fire. In the Tibetans, they call it the Tuma fire. And the Tuma fire, or it's actually the Buddhists call it that. But there's all different names for it, and there's all different religions have all different words for it and different stories to describe it and parables and all these different things. But what's happening is we're taking this energy that's actually coiled up in the base of the spine, and that's actually what Kundalini means, coiled up, and we're uncoiling it, we're moving it through, so it's going to create this inductance field through the body. It's going to create this inductance field. It looks like a spiral. We're moving it through all the way through all these different chakras, all the way up the spine, and it's going to meet at the top of the head, right in the center of the head, right at the pineal gland. And this is a really cool picture because the pink snake in Kundalini, they call it the serpent. It's just energy moving through the body. But this pink one is representing the divine feminine. And this turquoise one is representing the masculine, the divine masculine. And when they meet at the top of the head in Hinduism, that's when Shiva and Shakti, so this is Shiva and then Shakti, divine masculine, divine feminine, come together, and that's ultimate power. That's ultimate consciousness. That's you living in your greatest power, in your greatest, highest consciousness. And that's how in Hinduism, that's how they describe it. And there's all different parables and stories and all different really cool things with all the different religions and cultures. And, you can really get real deep into all that. Here's another really cool slide. So it's the divine masculine and the divine energy, feminine energy coming together and creating this ultimate power. And you're living from a state, you're showing up in your daily life in your ultimate power. You're showing up in as your true authentic self. So that's now how you're showing up in the world when you do this practice and you do this breath. And just imagine the possibility, imagine the doorways, the opportunities that would show up for you when you showed up in your ultimate power. So when it hits the brain, it hits the pineal gland. So when this energy comes up, it hits the pineal gland, which is right here. And if you look here, it actually looks like a pine cone. So it looks like a pine cone, and this pine cone is shown in a lot of different places around the world, a lot of different religions. The Vatican has pine cones all over it. There's pine cones in symbolism all over the world and all these different cultures. But this is also known as the third eye. And there's actually these little crystals in this pineal gland, and these crystals, that's what it looks like. They are very sensitive to frequency, very sensitive to frequency. And when you do this breath and you're drawing from the base of your spine all the way up into the pineal gland, you're creating pressure on that pineal gland, you're compressing the pineal gland, and you're putting mechanical pressure on these crystals in the pineal gland. And what happens is these crystals start to become piezoelectric. And that just means that they're super sensitive to frequency and information. And it starts like broadcasting it's like a little antenna. It starts broadcasting a little signal out. Now, what happens is they also start creating all these different chemicals in the brain. The pineal gland talks to the pituitary gland, and then these different chemicals in the brain start to get created. One of these chemicals is DMT, dimethyltryptamine. And that is some people call it the spirit molecule, but that chemical alters your state of consciousness. And it allows us to transcend this third dimensional reality. And it allows us to enter into higher dimensions of reality. And we start to pick up these different dimensions of reality because that Wi-Fi signal is beaming out through the pineal gland. And what happens is you'll have an experience, and you'll maybe even get images or visualizations, but whatever is happening in between your ears, whatever happening to you inside your body is going to be so real, and it's going to feel so much more real than this reality, that according to the quantum model, consciousness is non-local. So you'll be in a different reality. You'll be in a different reality. Yes, your body will stay here in this three-dimensional reality, but your consciousness is in a different reality. And your consciousness is who you really are. The body is it's an illusion. The body is really empty space, 99.9999% empty space. So by you being in a different reality, because you're now in this different dimension and it's very real in your brain, and you might even be getting visualizations or pictures or you'll feel information. You're going to have this experience, and it's going to change you on a biological, emotional, physical level. You're going to have a shift in who you are, and you're going to step into the next higher version of yourself, and you're going to start living from that next higher version of yourself. So I have one more little slide. This magnetic field, this toroidal field that's going around your body, you'll also get a reverse field that starts coming in. So now you have two fields. You have one field coming out and going around your body. But now, since we've activated the pineal gland and we've got these chemicals in the brain, and now we're in a different dimension, experiencing different consciousness, now we have this other field coming in, this reverse field. And that's information, and that's you in a different dimension, and that's you experiencing and gaining all these different insights. And ultimate healing will take place from that space, because it's also, your heart is also broadcasting this signal out, and your heart is, you're creating perfect brain and heart coherence. So you have perfect brain and heart coherence at the same time, and it's creating these perfect coherent signals between the brain and the heart, and ultimate healing takes place, and ultimate order takes place, and clarity and love and joy. So you've become a new person. You've become a new person, and just surrendering to this and just going with it, and not being afraid, because it is the unknown, and it's going to feel different. It's something you've never felt before. It's new. It's a new feeling. So just surrendering to it, not being afraid, and just enjoying it. And it's going to feel like so much love, and it's going to be really big. And I know when I experienced it, the first time I really truly experienced it, I thought I was going to scream. Like, I thought I was going to lose it. It was so big and so intense, and it's like I couldn't contain it. So just surrendering to it and learning how to work with it, and not being scared, and being open to it, and knowing that you're reconnecting with pure love. You're reconnecting with the power that created the universe, which is, it's so big, right? All right, so let's go into the breath. So how do we do this? So, and we'll dive deeper into this when we do our workshopping, and as we move along, we'll go real deep into it. But right now we're going to do the breath. So the big thing here is you want to pull the perineum up. The perineum is the muscle that you use to go to the bathroom, like to push to go to the bathroom, front and back. And it's also the muscle that you like pull up or tighten, however you want to say it, to stop from going to the bathroom. So let me stop sharing my screen. And we're going to do this together, and we're going to practice this together. So that way, when you're doing your meditation and we're doing the breath work, you're activating the pineal gland, you're creating those chemicals in the brain, and you're getting the full experience, and you're truly connecting to the quantum field to get the information you need to get, because it's a download of information when you're connected to the quantum field, and to start living from your highest self. All right, so you're going to pull the perineum up. So you're going to pull the perineum up, and I want you to do that now. So pull it up like an elevator going up, and then you're going to release it. So release it. So this is just to get you used to pulling that perineum up and releasing it. So let's do it again. So pull the perineum up, pull it up like an elevator going up, and I want you to hold it at the top. Do it now. I'm doing it with you. So hold that elevator at the top and release it. Good. We're going to do it again. So pull the perineum up. And this is really important when you're doing this, to not tighten your face. Don't do this. Like, don't tighten your body. Don't squeeze your body. Don't squeeze your butt cheeks. Just keep everything relaxed, and you're just pulling that perineum up. You're only focusing there. You're pulling it up. So pull it up, hold it at the top, and release. Good. So now we're going to inhale. And as you inhale, you're going to pull your perineum up and you're going to contract your lower abdominal wall. So inhale through the nose. And you're going to hold your breath. And as you inhaled, you pulled your perineum up and you contracted your lower abdominal wall. And you're holding it at the top right now. So right now I'm holding it up, right? Contracting the lower abdominal wall. And you're holding your breath. And you're going to exhale. Okay, now we're going to do it again. This time we're going to go up a little higher. We're going to go right below the sternum. So you're going to pull your perineum up, contract your lower abdominal wall, inhaling. And this time you're going to contract your upper abdominal wall at the same time. And you're going to hold it at the top. And you're going to exhale. Good. Now I want you to take your finger and I want you to dig your fingernail into your head because that's our target. We're trying to get this breath to go all the way to the top of the head. Okay, bring your finger down and lift your perineum up. Contract your lower abdominal wall. Contract your upper abdominal wall. And as you're doing this, you're inhaling. So you're inhaling and you're contracting those muscles. And this time you're going to bring it up to your chest right here. And you're going to hold it at the top. And you're going to exhale. Good. Now, we're going to go past the throat and we're going to go to the top of the head. So let's do that one more time. So put your finger here and kind of dig it in. So you have a target. Okay. And sit up real tall. Stretch your spine up and pretend like there's a string at the top of your head and you're pulling that string up and you're stretching your spine up. So now we're going to inhale, bring in the perineum up, contracting the lower abdominal wall, contracting the upper abdominal wall. Keep inhaling. I'm going to keep talking to you as you're doing this. And you're going to bring it through your chest, okay? Like you're sipping up a straw all through the nose. Bring it through your chest. Now bring it through your neck, like you're sipping up a straw all the way to the top of your head, to that bullseye where we dug the finger into the top of the head, all the way to the top of your head. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you can even sip in a little bit more air. Sometimes that helps. And get it all the way to the top of your head. And when you feel it at the top of your head, you're going to hold your breath, keeping the shoulders down, face relaxed. And you're going to keep those muscles contracted, all those muscles contracted. And you're going to hold it there. And you're going to exhale. Good. Now we're going to do it again. And this time I want you to try to make it one fluid motion. So not so mechanical, more intuitive, more just one fluid motion, like you're hitting a golf ball or you're hitting a baseball or you're kicking a soccer ball. It's one fluid motion. We're going to combine all these steps. All right, so we're going to inhale, pull the perineum up, contract the lower abdominal wall. Keep inhaling, contract the upper abdominal wall. Keep inhaling through the chest like you're sipping up a straw. Keep inhaling through the neck. Keep inhaling, keeping the face relaxed, shoulders down, inhaling through the nose. Keep going, all the way to the top of your head, all the way to the top of your head. Keep going. Hit that target at the top of your head. Sip in more air. Hold it. And exhale. Good. Now there's one more thing that I wanted to incorporate into this video. There's a little technique that we can do to really put pressure against that pineal gland, to compress those crystals, to get those crystals to start really creating that Wi-Fi signal, that antenna, and become ultra sensitive to frequencies and to pick up the frequency of a higher dimension and to transcend you there, to get this, to connect you to the quantum field, to get you to download this information, to get you to heal your body, to get you back to singularity. Now, what you can do here is you can make your hands just like this. All right. And you can use your arms as a lever. So you can push down. I got them like this, right? You can push down like that. And you're using your arms as a lever to pump you're pumping that pressure, you're pumping that cerebral spinal fluid, and you're pumping it, and you're actually tapping, you're putting pressure on the pineal gland when you pump like that, and you're compressing those crystals. So you make like prayer hands, and you're pushing down, and as you're pushing down, you're using your arms as a lever, and you're also pulling your perineum up at the same time, and it's going to cause this spinal fluid to put more pressure on that pineal gland. So let's give it a shot. Okay. And if you feel like you need a little bit more coaching on this or a little bit more help with this, because it takes a little bit of practice, then reach out to me and I can coach you and help you a little bit more on this. But you're making the lever and you're pushing down like this, right? And as you're doing that, as you're doing this pushing down motion, you're going to pull your perineum up at the same time, and you're creating that pressure. All right, so let's bring it all together. So sit up nice and tall and pretend like that string is at the top of your head. You're going to pull that string and you're going to really stretch your spinal column, shoulders down, face relaxed. And you're going to do a big inhale. So big inhale from the base of your spine, big inhale all the way up. And you're going to pull that perineum up, contract the lower abdominal wall, contracting the upper abdominal wall. You're going to push it through the chest, pulling it through the throat. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling all the way through the head to the very top of your head. Sip it in if you need to. Get as much air in as you can. Hands here and pump, pump, pump. And exhale. Good. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to move this down so you can see how you're not going to be able to see all my face, but that's okay. So you can see how I use my hands to pump and pull down. Okay. So one more time together. And you're just going to really have to practice this and do this at your own pace. And it's just practice. That's all it is. All right. So big inhale, pull the perineum up, Big inhale, contract the lower abdominal wall. Bring it all the way up, contract the upper abdominal wall. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Bring it up through the chest. Keep inhaling up through the throat, all the way to the top of your head. Keep inhaling like you're sipping through a straw. Sip more at the top if you need to. Keep pulling up all the way to the top. Sip in if you need to. Hold it at the top, and pump. And relax. All right. So practice that. So that's your homework. That's your assignment. Is to practice that. And we're deepening the meditation practice by doing this breath properly, applying the pressure to the pineal gland, activating those crystals in the pineal gland to pick up these different frequencies, different dimensions, to connect you to the quantum field and to download this information and this coherent signal into your body and to create ultimate healing and to draw the event to you and for you to approach life as your highest self, the highest version of yourself. Approach life in your power. If you need extra help with this, message me, reach out to me. But it's going to take practice. And it's going to take doing it and doing it and doing it. Just like riding a bike, just like learning how to throw a ball when you're a kid, just like learning how to kick a soccer ball when you're a kid, learning how to drive. It's just practice. All right, so we're going to close it out. But that's your assignment. Practice this at least once a day when you're doing your meditation. Before you do your meditation, I want you to do this. Okay? All right, we're going to close it out. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.